ready?
I'm a lady.
And welcome to Idol Days, the show about idol anime. I'm Star.
And I'm Sarah.
And it's been so long that I forgot what our intro was, but welcome to Horse Podcast, everybody. Let's go!
We are horse casting from the studio right now. Everyone place your bets.
See, I thought you were going to say we're horsing around.
We're horsing around.
Yes. So for our podcast episode, this was supposed to be our episode for last month, but twirls my hair. Star was busy.
Star got a late start.
Star was having some troubles. Getting shit done on account of busy. I'm dying inside, but it's cool, and we're back. It's time to talk about Horse show. We watched Umamusume season 2.
Yes. We had done season 1 a long time ago.
God, when did we record season 1?
It feels like ages ago.
It was ages ago. There's no feels like in that sentence.
But the benefit of Umamusume season 2 is it's completely new characters from season 1. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the old characters show up, but we don't care about them anymore.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're still here.
Well, I mean, Silent Suzuka is in America, so she's not even here.
Yeah. But it's like, you'll see like little itty bitty teeny tiny moments with some of the main characters from last season. But they did not really play any kind of major role in the plot, so we don't have to care about them. This can technically be a standalone episode. However, if this is your first time hearing about Umamusume, we should explain the concept behind it.
Oh, yes. Absolutely, yes, we should. I am in Horseland, Star. I don't know if I've mentioned this.
Yeah, did you said you downloaded the game?
Yeah.
Because didn't it just come out in English recently?
It came out in English this week. Pew, pew, pew,
hey,
pew.
So maybe it was a good thing we delayed the episode.
Yes, because I've only been playing horses. My brain is horses. My life is horses.
Sarah, why would you lie to our audience? I know that's not all you're playing because you texted me at 2 a.m. the other night saying that you didn't catch that fish in Final Fantasy XIV.
I didn't catch the fish, but I logged on to catch a fish, and then otherwise I've been playing horses.
Tell me about the horse game, Sarah. What's the gameplay loop?
So the gameplay loop is you got a horse. You see all the horse girls. You know what those horse girls, you saw them in the anime, right?
Okay, well actually let's talk about the horse girls. Let's assume that someone listening to this has no fucking idea what Umamusume. Give us a primer, give us a recap.
Okay.
What the fuck are we talking about?
You know how horses exist?
Yes, I do actually.
So imagine a world where those horses, instead of being horses, were cute anime girls.
Explain.
So instead of horses, so in the world of Umamusume, and I believe we had covered this in the previous episode, so I'm reciting from memory. This may not be one for one, but the director did reveal some things about the world of Umamusume, the director of the anime. In the world of Umamusume, so there are no horses, but there are horse girls. Everything in history that was done by a person on horse was done by a horse girl.
Amazing.
Horse girls, they love running and they love being idols. Those are their two favorite things to do no matter what.
Wait, hang on. Can we rewind just like a teeny tiny bit? Because the sentence, anything that was done by a person riding a horse was actually done by a horse girl is fucking wild to think about, because the first thing that springs to my mind is that fucking painting of Napoleon on horseback. Where's the Napoleon horse girl? I wish to see it. Put it in my eyes.
If I remember right, I think there was even a scene at the beginning of season 1 that had like Neolithic tablets, and instead of like people riding horses and spearing beasts, they were just horse girls.
I feel like I remember this, yeah. Oh man, I fucking love anime.
So, in the world of Umamusume, there aren't horses, there are horse girls.
Yes.
Side note, there are only horse girls. There are not horse boys. They mentioned that horse girls are like elves. They are their own species, separate from human. Mm-hmm. They can run very, very fast as a car, if they really tried. They do have horse ears that are on the top of their head. And the anime does a very good job of having all the devices in the world work around the fact that their ears are on top of their head. For example, whenever they talk on the phone, it's either a really, really long phone or they're on speakerphone.
I do remember the really, really long phone gag from the first season. It was so fucking good. Like, that fucking phone is so long.
And the other important thing about this world of Umamusume, because remember, this is a parallel universe. Horses don't exist, but anytime there was a person on a horse, you merged them into a horse girl. So this is, I guess, not modern Japan, because I was looking it up. All these races happened in the 90s. So this is technically a historical anime, by the way, for anyone watching. These are Y2K kids, Y2K horse girls.
You know, I think I did at some point wonder, like, wait, hold on, wait. So, wait, if this took place in the 90s, does that mean that all of the original horses are dead now?
Well, some of them.
My heart. How long do horses live? How long do horse girls live? I'm Googling this. How long does horse live?
Oh, no.
25 to 30 years. Also, I was, trying to type that while talking, and I did type, how long does horse life?
How long does horse life?
How long does horse life?
How long does horse life? So, yeah, a lot of these horses may not be alive, but we don't worry about that.
Takes my hat off and puts it over my heart.
Host star, why the long face?
Sarah, you can't say that in this universe where there are horse girls. You DM'd me to make that joke just the other night.
I did. So yes, the horse girls are based off of real life horses. If you are coming in and you did not know that, all the horses are named after actual Japanese racehorses. So the creators of Umamusume went and got permission from all the owners of these horses to turn them into cute anime girls and have them run races.
And you're not allowed to draw art of the horses fucking, because it pisses off the Yakuza members who own these horses, is what we discussed in previous episodes.
Also, a lot of the horses in real life might have been male, but they're all girls in the anime, so hashtag trans rights.
Wow, Yuri winning.
Yuri wins once again.
Yeehaw, hit that show with the fucking Yuri beam.
Ooh, you don't really need to do it hard, though.
No, it's a very mild beam.
Yeah, there's a not so subtext of subtext in the anime.
I thought you were gonna say in real life, and I was like, excuse me.
Well, them horses do get a lot of. I
Finish that
shan't.
sentence.
I shan't.
Finish that sentence. What the fuck were you about to say?
Well, half the point for horse racing is for people to bet on the horses. That is one thing that the director specified is in the world of Umamusume. The horses are not bet on. They're just racing for fun. But the other reason in real life why people race horses is to advertise them as stud horses. So there's no comment on that by the director of the show. So to your own imagination.
Yuri beam! Make the horses lesbians. I'm doing the Miku Miku beam hand sign right now, by the way.
As you should.
This is not a visual medium, but I need everyone to imagine it in your mind's eye.
So the other thing about the world of Umamusume is all of the girls that we care about right now, they are, again, named after real racehorses. They run in races that are named after real races in Japan. And all of them go to the same school, which is just a school for horse girls to go to learn how to be horse girl.
Yeah. This might not be the best time to bring this up, but just while we're talking about the fact that that the story takes place in a school, how long are these horse girls in high school? Because Sarah, I swear to God, this season covers like 4 years, it feels like.
So the interesting thing puts on my has been playing horse game glasses.
Okay, yes, do it.
In the world of the game, you get 3 years, basically. And then after that, the horses get retired and go out to pasture. Or whatever you do with them. They become parents for the other horses, Yuri horses.
Yuri horses.
Yuri
Nod
horses.
solemnly.
So presumably it is not that long. There's just a lot of races. But also in real life, it was like 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like they're saying it's like oh yeah, this race is in the spring, and then the next race is in the fall, and it's like the next episode, and then the next episode is like this big race is coming up in the spring, and I'm like, how much time has passed?
Yep, they're in school for a while.
These are like annual races, and we cover like 3 of them in this one season. And there's characters like Cymbeline Rudolph, who theoretically was already racing when Teo was a kid, Teo being our main character. And she's still in the school. She's still going to the high school.
I think it's like an Udapri situation where they quote unquote graduate, but then it's just still high school.
But no, Sarah, she still wears the uniform. She still goes to the school. She's the student council president or whatever the fuck. I think this is just a forever school for horse girls.
Whoa.
I think there is no graduating. I think they just live there forever. until they break their leg too many times and then they get taken to the glue factory. But we don't have to talk about that.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. The glue factory episode was pretty fucked up, actually. I'm surprised they managed to put that in the anime. It like suddenly like went from this very cute moe horse girl show to like suddenly it's Made in Abyss. Okay, sure, whatever.
So spoilers by Star.
Interesting turn for the season. Anyway, let's talk about Honse.
Honse.
There's really only 2 characters we need to care about in this season, which is so good for my soul who cannot remember the names of characters. But I'm excited because my best girl from last season, this season is focused on her, and I love her. I love Teo so much. She's precious. She's a baby.
So tell us about her, Star.
So Tokai Teo is her name, but everyone just calls her Teo. And she is my baby girl. She's my baby. I love her so much. Picks her up, holds her. So she has this kind of like chestnut brown hair with like a little white streak in her bangs. She's got like a ponytail and she's very small. She is short. She's petite. And she's very much like the Genki, very like driven. She's like, I'm gonna be the best racer ever. She's very like Genki girl main character energy. And I love her so much.
Ooh, she's such a good bean.
She's my baby girl. And I love her, and I was so excited that she got a whole season mostly about her. There's other characters, but I pushed them aside for Teo.
Yes. And then the other big character we need to know for the season is Majoro McQueen. She goes by McQueen. She also is small. She has long, like very light lavender purple hair. She is a rich girl from a rich school. Well, not rich school, a rich family, which is also a family of notable horse girls. And she and Teo are besties, but they're also rivals.
Yes, the Yuri writes itself.
It does. It really does.
But yeah, and so the bulk of this season takes place in these 2 being rivals and then fate conspiring to keep them from racing each other, basically. It's like, okay, who's got a broken ankle in this episode?
Yup.
It's constant back and forth for the entire season, basically, and it's wild. But yeah, there are other characters in the show.
Yes.
That I know at least I took notes in like, there's a couple of like key moments later on where some of the other characters are important. There's like this one other group that you kind of focus on, but they're mostly there for gags and mostly there to advertise the mobile game, I'm sure. Especially in like the first episode. They do that thing that shows based on mobile games with a shit ton of characters will do, where they'll have a character show up and then they'll have a little name card of that character's name pop up next to them. But they do it for every single character, even the ones that are just filling out background shots. And it was so funny because there's a couple scenes where, you know, like the main characters are in the foreground talking, but then you see a couple characters like walking in the background and their little nameplate card is tracking with where they're walking. And it's very funny.
And they did it in season 1 too. So it does not matter how many times these characters are introduced, they will always have their name card. It's part of them.
I mean, not in like every single episode, but I figure, you know, like at least the first episode of the season, they're probably going to do that. Because season 3's out now, isn't it?
Season 3 already came out, and then there was the newest season, which is the...
Oh my god, wait, they're already on 4?
Yes.
Oh my god, Honse. Is this just a summer of horse girls now? Sarah, do we just say fuck our previous plans and we just do summer of horse girls?
Horse. I'm already in the summer of horse.
Listen, we had a plan for our next episode. What if we just threw that out and just talked more about Honse?
You don't understand. I was watching horse while I was playing horse.
Oh, Sarah, you're double dipping.
I was not a horse girl, but now I'm a horse girl.
Who's your favorite?
Okay.
Okay, give me your top 3. Give me your top 3.
Okay.
In no particular order.
So in no particular order, I really do love Turbo. She's a really weird looking one.
Oh yeah, Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku.
Yes, she's just a weird gremlin.
She does. You know what? That does track.
Yes.
That does track as a character you would like. Because Twin Turbo is one of the characters who is like not really focused on, but she's a recurring character in this season for the gag. And I did keep forgetting her name and did definitely just keep calling her Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku because that is what she fucking looks like.
Hell yeah.
If you've seen the Mesmerizer music video with Hatsune Miku and Kasane Teto, she looks like Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku. She's got blue hair and pigtails. She's got the pointy teeth. I don't think she has the spirals in her eyes, but she might.
Oh, she does.
Oh, she does. Then yeah, she's 100%. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two images. It's the same image.
The same image. And I also really like Haru. She is the pink-haired one who was Special Week's friend in the first season. And then I'm partial to Daiwa Scarlet just because I cosplayed her. But she's a tsundere.
Daiwa Scarlet and Vodka are me and Sarah's kin horses. I never cosplayed Vodka, but whenever they're on screen, I'm like, it's me and Sarah.
We did it.
It's like, those are our girls. It's us. They put us in the show.
It's so funny. The Honses.
The Honses. Okay, so we should like actually talk about this show, though. I almost don't want to go episode by episode, though, because like so little happens in some of these episodes.
So let's talk about the big arcs, right? So that's our plan anyways with our idol episodes moving forward as of like a year ago, where we might deep dive into episode by episode, but we also might not.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a show where it doesn't really need it because some of these shows I only had like 2 bullet points because it's just a lot of filler.
Yes.
And a lot of just like, oh, the horses are practicing. They're practicing for the big race. And that's like the entire episode. And it sounds boring. There's other stuff that happens. Like you see side characters, you get like little gags, you get characters talking about, it's like, I don't know the reason why I race. And then they talk to another character and they're like, this is the reason that I race. And they're like, oh, wow. So maybe I just need to find my reason for it. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Probably like 30% of the show is that.
Yes. But we can talk broadly. So Tokai Teo is our main character. When we get into the first episode of this anime, there are some flashbacks of her when she was little, but overall,
a baby or baby
girl. But now she is at the horse school and she is racing and she's like at the top of her game.
Horse school in parentheses for horse girls.
Horse school for horse girls. So you do see her at the end of the first episode. She does win a race. And very important, she does do an idol show. I don't know if we've talked about this.
Yeah, we do need, 20 minutes into this episode, we do need to say why we're talking about this show on our idol anime podcast, is that I was so sad because I was kind of under the impression that there was going to be more idol stuff in this season because I feel like I read that somewhere. And they kind of cock teased you a little bit with more idol stuff in this season, because there's like a big song and dance number in the first episode, and then I think there's one in the last episode.
Yes.
But there's a few episodes where you think you're gonna get idols and then you don't, and I was so mad. And I'm like, cut back to it. Show me the concert.
So what happens is when a race is over, all the horse girls dance in a big idol concert, but the winner is the center. And then the number 2 and number 3 are like alongside the center, and then everyone else is just in the background jamming out.
Sarah, when you said all the horse girls, my brain auto-filled, and it said all the king's horse girls and all the king's men.
That's later in the season. Womp womp.
That's this universe's version of the Humpty Dumpty nursery rhyme.
Yes, it is. So the fun facts star. Yes, there are idol dances, and also the animation's really good, and the songs are very good. So
yeah, there's some bangers, which makes me want more of them.
Just also the funny thing is they are definitely all about racing, which like yes they should be, but it's still very funny.
It's very funny. It's like, how did this even occur? How did we get to this point in universe? Like, who decided this? What corporate bigwig was like, hey, you know what would be fun? Is if we made them not only race, we also made them sing and dance.
But remember, Star, the only 2 things horse girls love to do are to be idle and to race. So
I don't know, Sarah. I feel like that's a bit of a minimizing stereotype of horse girls. They also like carrots.
That's Special Week.
And that is a joke that is many times, mostly by Special Week,
Yes,
who was our main character in the previous season.
Yes, and your girlfriend looks like a carrot.
Yeah. Oh, God.
We made that revelation last season, too.
Yeah, we did, and you just reminded me of it, and I had to take a moment of silence.
So a very important thing, though, Star, is every time you race in the mobile game, you do have an opportunity to watch the idol show, and there are multiple songs.
Yay! I've been wondering because I can't think of names or anything, but I do know that there is at least one, like, cosplay cover group that does Umamusume.
Love it.
And I'm like, I love that. I love that for them.
Horns.
So
that is why we are talking about it in our idol podcast. So this is why we're emphasizing Tokai Teo wins and she does the idol dance.
Yeah, this is one of the only idol numbers that we get in the whole season. It's fine, I'm not bitter. But what we do know is at the end of the song, there's like this little bitty moment where she kind of steps on her ankle wrong and she flinches. And the trainer, like her trainer, he's one of the only dudes in the show. He's like the leader of the team of horse girls that she races on. You get a flash of him noticing that she like steps on her foot wrong and winces. And he's like, oh my God, what's going on with Teo? Her foot's messed up. They're going to take her to the glue factory. Oh shit.
Dun dun. And her foot is messed up. She does go to the doctor.
Yeah. So it turns out that her ankle is fractured. And so the thing about Teo is that she is currently undefeated. She is like an undefeated race horse girl. And so her goal is to get a triple crown, which I guess this is probably also a thing in universe, which is basically like there's these 3 big races that are like the crown races, I guess. And so her mentor, like the horse girl that she works, like really looks up to, this Cymbeline Rudolph character who appears a couple of times.
Side note, Cymbeline Rudolph is real life Tokai Teo's dad.
What?
So go continue.
Sarah, you can't just say that and expect me to move on.
It's her dad. Keep going.
You can't just say that and expect me to move on. Oh my God. You can't just be dropping revelations like that in the middle of our Horse Girl podcast.
Horns.
And anyway, I'm going to try and regain my composure. So anyway, Cymbeline Rudolph, her mentor figure and like the student council president, won these 3 horse races and is like the triple crown winner.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole Triple Crown thing comes up a couple of times throughout the season. So Teo has won 2 of the 3 races she needs to do to get a Triple Crown. And then the third race is like in 6 months or something like that. And now she's worried. It's like, well, recovery time is going to take about 6 months, but my third Triple Crown race is in 6 months. So I got to like really, really go into rehab and make sure that this is fixed by the time it's ready to race. And, you know, she's doing her best to do stuff like, she's doing her best to do what she can to recover faster. Like some of the other girls are helping her like do other workouts that don't involve her leg. The trainer is coming up with like special exercises so she can do all that. But unfortunately, we get to the third race and the doctor says you're not recovered enough. And so she has to miss out on the third Triple Crown race. And I guess the idea of the Triple Crown is that you have to do them all within the same calendar year, because like this is a race that happens every year. In theory, she could have just won the next one and been fine, but I guess that's not how it works in Horse Girl world.
I think that's how it works in real life too.
I mean, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. But eventually she does recover, so Teo is able to run again. And she begs her trainer to be like, hey, I want to do this big race with McQueen. It's a very big deal. And trainer's like, okay, we'll get you some races in between, but later on you can do this big race with McQueen.
Yeah, and so that's something that they're leading up to for a couple episodes. We have a race with McQueen. We get to like see a little bit more of her, where like a ton of other girls have like kind of singled her out as like, she's the one I have to beat, she's the one I have to beat, and she smokes all of them anyway.
Yes.
Forced to be reckoned with. It's like showing the audience is like, yeah, this horse girl, she goes fast.
Yes.
Anyway.
Meanwhile, Tokai Teo does get her first race back from being injured, which is the Osaka High. Nobody expected her to win because even though she was undefeated before, apparently this is a very difficult matchup and almost no horse has ever won first place after being injured for however long, 6 months. But she does. She wins.
But she does because she's a baby and she goes so fast.
Yeah.
She's a baby and she goes so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot of just kind of like not tension, but just like McQueen and Teo are both training for their eventual face-off. And so you see like them getting specialized training. And there's like this funny gag where McQueen gets weighted horseshoes because the horse girls do wear horseshoes. And she's like using another character as hurdles to like try and practice like her leg muscles. And she keeps like jumping on top of her back and crushing her. And it's very funny.
Yes, very specifically to Goldship, who is kind of one of the chaos creatures of this entire series.
Yeah, she's not a gremlin, but she's just kind of, she feels like she's there for the gags, but she doesn't complain about it. She lives for the gag, she dies by the gag.
And also, apparently the horse in real life was like a little unpredictable like that too, so that's fun.
Art imitates life.
I did horse research before our podcast.
Yeah, apparently you did. Apparently you did do that. I'm glad that one of us did, but at the same time, I'm still reeling from Simbali Rudolph IRL as Tokai Teo's dad, okay? I'm still reeling from that.
It's just how it is.
Anyway, it is now time for the big race.
Dun dun dun.
We're on episode 5 at this point, by the way.
McQueen and Teo are finally facing off. Their rivals, but again, they're BFFs. So you have to remember that when Teo was injured, she kept looking up to McQueen, being like, I gotta get better so I can race McQueen, even if I don't get this Triple Crown. And then McQueen's like, I need to like up my game so that way when I face Teo, I don't show myself as a fool in front of her. There is a point like right before the race where McQueen is like in a press conference and she says, all I want to do is I'm going to beat Tokai Teo. I'm so much better than Tokai Teo. And then McQueen's like, Grandma is like, hey, you're going to lose if you keep like making it so that your only goal is Tokai Teo and not the goal. And McQueen's like, oh, I gotta focus up.
Yeah, the grandma confuses me because I don't think the grandma's a horse girl.
I think she was. So So Majoro McQueen in real life came from a like distinguished horse line. So almost all the horses within the Majoro line were named Majiro something, and
Horse
were
dynasty.
horse dynasty, and were race horses. So I think this is just to symbolize that she is part of the horse dynasty.
I don't remember her silhouette having horse ears, though.
A mystery.
I don't remember. Like, she could have, and I just didn't notice, but I feel like I looked and I didn't see. I don't know. Gotta go rewatch those episodes, I guess.
Yes, horse.
Oh no, more horns.
But so McQueen newly refocused. So all this time before, you're like, I think Tokai Teo is going to win because Tokai Teo is like going for it. McQueen's like a little in her head, but now McQueen's out of her head, and they're both like strong contenders.
Yeah. And so when they do also stress that like both of these girls have different focuses that they're better at.
Mm-hmm.
So Teo is, the audience favorite. She's like this prodigy. She's incredible. Everyone loves Teo. But McQueen won this same race last year.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's something they stress over the course of like the whole season is the McQueen's strength is long distance running. And this is one of those longer races.
Yes. And then at the race day, they're about to go in their little stalls to race. And then Teo's horseshoe falls off. Da-dan.
Mm-hmm.
An omen? Question mark. In reality, it is something that happened, so that's fun too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The horseshoe came off of
wondering.
the real horse. That's why they showed it.
Horns. Okay, Sarah, we're not there yet, but there is a moment I need to ask you about when we get to the rice shower episodes and see if that was something that happened in real life, because I'm very curious.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, we'll get there.
Okay.
But yeah, so it is time for the big race. And so during the race, like McQueen and Teo, they're running. And there's other horse girls. Who the fuck cares about them? It's all about It's all about Teo and McQueen. And Teo is doing her best to catch up. She is doing her best, but McQueen still manages to outpace her at like the very end. And so Teo falls behind and McQueen wins.
Dun-dun.
And so Teo has gone from undefeated on the path to a Triple Crown championship to didn't get the Triple Crown and has now been defeated by her rival. And she's sad about it. But they have this little talk while they're like, right after the race. And McQueen's like, I couldn't have made it here without you. And I wrote in my notes, kiss already.
Yeah.
It's a very sweet moment, but it's like, oh, Teo, baby, she just keeps losing.
Yeah, and afterwards she does keep losing. So she keeps running races, but now that she's like, well, I'm not undefeated anymore, so what's the point, right? So she starts losing more and more. And she's being like, why do other people run? What motivates them to run in races if not to be undefeated?
And so she has a character arc about it. Where she tries and figures it out.
And then in the end, after seeing Vodka and Daiwa Scarlet like fight it out, the trainer's like, I know what you need to do. You just need to go talk to McQueen, actually.
Yeah. Because McQueen actually hasn't been racing. She's taking a leave of absence because she apparently went too hard and injured herself in that big race. And then when the two girls end up talking, McQueen's like, well, listen, we're still rivals. I still need to beat you. And Teo's like, what are you talking about? You already beat me. And she's like, well, yeah, I beat you at the thing that I'm good at, long distance running. I haven't beat you at the thing that you're good at, which I believe Teo's better in like short distance races because she can like run faster in short bursts. Whereas McQueen is more of an endurance runner. And so McQueen is like, I want to be a horse girl who inspires you to do your best, and likewise for you as well. And, I'm still going to be your rival until I can also beat you at the thing that you're best at. And so Teo's like, little light bulb goes off in her head and she gets some of her spark back. And it's like, ah, hell yeah. Baby girl's back.
So now her motivation is not to be undefeated, but to challenge McQueen her entire life back and forth.
Gay! Listen, Pride Month is over, but this episode was supposed to come out in June, so them horses gay. Good for them.
Horse Yuri. What is anime for if not to turn the horses into anime girls and make them kiss?
Exactly. Anyway, there is also a little side bit that we need to talk about in this episode. I forget her full name, but I wrote her down as Bourbon in my notes.
Yes.
She's not a major character this season, but she shows up occasionally. And her input here is that she, like Teo, was another horse girl who was gunning for the Triple Crown, who was defeated going for like the final, the third and final race by a horse named Rice Shower.
Da-dun.
We'll talk about her more in a minute. But basically, she was like, everyone was super excited because, Teo didn't get it. But now this other horse girl, Bourbon, is looking like she's going to win the Triple Crown and she's going to do it and she's going to do it. And then this other horse, Rice Shower, beats her. And instead of being excited about this horse who won this huge race, everyone hates Rice Shower.
Oh, Rice Shower.
And so now it's time to talk about Rice Shower, my baby!
Yeah.
Justice for Rice Shower. I love her so much. Like, listen, I love Teo. I love Rice Shower. She's a baby. She's a precious angel. And I'm going to fight every single person who is mean to her behind the Denny's. I will destroy them. So Rice Shower is a precious little angel baby cake. She's got like this long, I think it's black hair. It's like kind of wavy, and it hangs over one of her eyes, and she's got like this little accessory. She's got like a hat or something.
Tiny hat.
Yeah, she's got a tiny hat. It's like a little bowler hat or something, right?
Yes.
And it kind of like hangs over one of her eyes. She's very much like in any other anime, she's a little bit hikikomori coded.
Yeah, kind of gloomy.
She's very gloomy. She's very shy. She's very introverted. She doesn't talk much, but she's real fast, and she's running real fast. And her thing is, she wants to run fast. She wants to be a good racer, but she keeps beating all of these horses that the audience was rooting for. And then the audience is like, oh, well, freaking Rice Shower keeps stealing people's accomplishments, and so they call her a heel, which is like a wrestling term for the villain. And she's like, I don't want to be a heel. I'm just doing my best and winning races, and everyone hates me for it. And it's so rough, and I love her. She's a baby. So we get a couple episodes focused on her now.
Yes, and her arc is that she is thinking about quitting racing, not because she doesn't like to run, because she loves to run, but because every time she wins, people are mad at her.
It's so sad. Hashtag justice for Rice Shower. I love her so much. She's a precious angel baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after she beats Bourbon in this one race and kind of steals the Triple Crown from her, she gets really upset by how the audience reacts to that. And she basically says, I'm not going to race anymore ever again. And so she was going to be in a race that McQueen was going into. And McQueen was like, oh, well, she seems like a really strong contender. I'd like to race her. And then other girls find out that, I think, isn't it Teo that finds out and then like stalks her for an entire episode?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, and so Teo basically follows her around and is like, "Hey, you should. Why are you quitting racing? Why are you quitting racing? Why you shouldn't quit racing? Don't you? All horse girls love to race. Why don't you want to race anymore?" And so she eventually opens up and she's like, "Well, yeah, because every time I win, the audience hates me, but I don't want to be a heel. I want to be a hero." And it's like, my baby. And so what ends up happening is Bourbon, the girl that she beats, ends up talking to Rice Shower. And Rice is like, I know you probably hate me for winning that race that you were supposed to win. And Bourbon's like, no, actually, you raced so phenomenally. I was like, on top of the world. And now I feel like I have someone I can really compete with. You're not a heel. You're my hero. And it was just like, oh, the Yuri beams.
Oh, and Rice Shower gets all sparkly eyed because she never thought about that before.
It's so cute. Babies. So anyway, episode 8. We now have the race coming up where Rice Shower is going to be racing against McQueen. And I think at this point, McQueen is undefeated.
Yes, since she came back from rehab.
Yeah, and so like everyone, is McQueen is the one to beat, but McQueen is also the audience favorite because she's undefeated and she's got that whole thing with Teo that everyone's watching. But Rice Shower's like, okay, if I'm gonna race in this, I'm gonna take it seriously. And she like goes into like hermit mode and she does like crazy training nonstop for like weeks leading up to this race. And when it finally gets to race time, I swear to God, I wrote in my notes that the girl has the Sans Undertale eye glow and a dark aura. She's like very scary. She's like, I have trained my entire life, in parentheses, last 3 weeks, for this race specifically, and I am gunning specifically to beat Major McQueen. And McQueen's a little unsettled by that, as she should be, because it's kind of scary. Like, I love Rice Shower. Girl's a little scary.
Yep, she psychs the other horses out.
So this is what I wanted to ask you about, Sarah.
Yes.
Our IRL horse history, our horsery.
My horsestrian.
Because what happens is that Rice Shower, like, they're all getting into the stalls, and McQueen does not want to get in the race stall. She's like so intimidated by Rice Shower's like evil aura that she's like kind of freaked out. She's tugging on her own tail, trying to get herself to go into the stall, and her feet will just like not fucking move. She's terrified. She's like, this girl's gonna kill me. And I was wondering if maybe that was like an actual thing that happened.
I actually didn't look into that part. Let me see. I sent you the side-by-side race comparison, Star.
We're watching this video together now.
Oh, yeah. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Major McQueen does not want to go in that stall.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they're like pulling on the tail and everything. Yep, look at that. There's probably a subset of people who watch this anime who specifically are watching it because they know the actual horse history, the horsery, if you will. Oh, wow, yeah, she does not want to get in that stall. Oh, poor thing. He's like, no, that other horse is going to fucking kill me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, Rice Shower Baby Girl has a death aura. And so McQueen is so focused on Rice coming up behind her, she ends up like using up all her energy too soon just to get away from her. And then Rice Shower ends up coming up behind her, overtakes her, and wins. And so, of course, she has now beaten the undefeated champion, Major McQueen, and the audience is still, again, really upset. And Rice Shower's upset about it. But all of the other horse girls are clapping for her, including McQueen. And she's still sad. She kind of like goes to the little backstage area and she talks to Bourbon, who's there. And she's like, I don't want people to boo me. And Bourbon says getting booed is an honor for the challenger. And that ruining other people's dreams is what winning is about. And it's like, I don't know if that's what she needed to hear right in this moment, but good talk, Bourbon.
Yeah. And also the real life horse race, if you see at the end, it's very interesting because the entire race, you hear the audience yelling and being like, yeah, go. And then when Rice Shower crosses, everyone gets quiet. You're like, oh no. Oof, big oofs. People lost money that day.
Yeah, anyway, I did write in my notes in all caps, justice for Rice Shower, that's my baby girl. Because I love her. I love her. I love the little shy, cute underdog ones.
Yes.
Who have death auras.
And now we get back to our plot with McQueen and Teo.
Yes, because Teo is finally done with the rehab, because she was in rehab again. I forget if we mentioned that, but she was in rehab again because she broke her ankle again, but now she's done with rehab, and she's ready to race again, and she's going all out at practice, and she trips and falls, and she breaks her ankle again.
Bump bump.
So she goes to the doctor, and the doctor's like, hey, at this point, you've broken this leg like 3 times in a year. It's probably a recurring fracture, which means that it's going to be more likely to keep breaking over and over again if you keep pushing yourself this hard. You are probably going to need to retire from racing.
Jello, anyone?
Sarah! Sarah! Sarah? I almost dropped your last name, but I
Sarah Horse Girl.
Sarah Horse Girl Illuminati. How could you do this to me? How could you joke about these sweet horse girls?
Anyways, Tokai Teo, on the outside, she responds to this being like, oh, don't worry, I'll rehabilitate myself, I'll be fine, it's all okay. But on the inside, she's like, no, I'm fucked up.
Also, all the audience, like, she bumps into a couple people, including, like, some fans of hers, just, like, out on the road, and they're like, oh, we're so sad that we loved to watch you race. And she's like, everyone's already counting me out like I'm already retired. I haven't even announced anything yet. But, like, basically the entire audience has already written her off as, like, she's going to be retiring. She keeps getting injured.
Yeah.
But at the end of the episode, like, Teo's watching McQueen practice, and it just hits her. She's like, I'm never going to be able to run like that again, am I?
Aww.
And it stings.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's like, oh, baby. Oh.
So then she goes to her manager and is like, hey, I'm gonna retire. Here's my resignation.
Take me to the glue factory.
And all of her teammates from TeamSpeak are like, Teo, no, don't go. We love you so much. And Teo's like, no, I gotta quit. And they're like, well, let's at least give you a graduation concert. Because remember, they're idols.
Mm-hmm. And this is the part where Star was like, well, we're on episode 10. At the very least, we will get an idol performance out of this episode, right?
Surely.
Right? Right.
So
anyway,
it's her graduation performance day, and she's just resigned to not running anymore. And she goes on stage to talk to the audience, and she's like, I love you all. Thank you all for supporting me for all this time. And then
Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku with the steel chair. So Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku, the little gremlin horse girl we've talked about a handful of times, and a whole bunch of other characters, they've been like doing little skits. We've seen little bits of them. They've been in some of these races. We've seen like little asides with them, but they're not majorly important to the plot until right this second. Because Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku, Twin Turbo, has declared Teo her rival, even though she kind of sucks.
Yeah.
She does not run very fast. She's racing in like these itty bitty like pee-wee races, essentially. Mm-hmm. But she, tries to go to Teo and like tries to challenge her. Is like, I'm going to face off against you someday. And Teo's like, I'm retiring. We're not going to race each other. And Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku basically throws a little fit. And it's just like, you can't quit because I haven't gotten a chance to beat you yet. And so a lot of people, including her, are really beat up about Teo graduating from horse. Mm-hmm. And Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku is like, I can show her how I'm gonna race. And everyone's like, you have a race on the day of she's gonna be like doing this graduation concert. You can't be there. And she's like, we need to hack the video feed at the concert.
Hack the planet.
So they hack the video feed at the concert and show Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku coming in first at this race that she's at this exact moment when this is happening. And she's like running the race and she's screaming, this is what happens! This is what you can do when you never give up! And she wins first place.
Yeah.
And I guess this display is motivating somehow.
Apparently also, my horse research, this was the highlight of Twin Turbo's career, was this race.
Amazing.
So they need to show it.
Yeah. They needed an excuse for it to be plot relevant.
Exactly.
For all the Twin Turbo fans, looks at Sarah.
And then Tokai Teo sees this and she's like, man, I guess I don't have to be the best horse girl to race. Even if I can't be the horse girl I was, I can do better than that I'm watching. She doesn't actually think that, but
No, that's a Sarah special right there. But it's very funny. And so she basically was like, well, I was going to announce my retirement, but screw it. I'm not retiring. I love racing too much. I'm Tokai Teo. And we don't get a fucking concert.
No. You get a single frame showing that a concert had happened.
So mad. 10 episodes into the show and we've gotten one little song and dance number from the horses. I want to see the horses sing and dance.
Let the horses dance.
Damn it! Make the horses dance. It's why I'm watching this show. It's why we're talking about it on our fucking podcast. God damn it.
So Teo is back at it again. She is back in rehabilitation to try to run again. She is not healing as quickly as the first few times, considering this is the third fracture. But she still does her very gosh darn Teo best.
So this next episode, we're on episode 11 now, by the way. This episode's kind of split into two parts. The first part of the episode is Teo. There's like a big race coming up that I think like Teo and McQueen are both going to race in. I think that was the plan.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yes.
But they're training for their eventual face-off at this one particular race. And so Teo goes around on like a little scouting mission, and she's getting intel on all the other horses who are going to be in this race. And in my head, I'm just like, oh, this is just giving us like info on some of the other characters that we haven't really focused on, because they're going to be in the season finale and we need to know who they are so that we can get attached to them emotionally. So about half the episode is spent on that, and then the second half of the episode is spent on Gay.
Horse girl Yuri.
Yeah, horse girl Yuri. Because Teo takes McQueen on a Halloween date, basically. It was like a thank you for supporting her. But she has a hard time telling McQueen, so she's like, I'm gonna take her on a date about it instead, actually.
There's even a part where Tokai Teo like goes up to McQueen and she's like, I have something to say with you, and McQueen's like, are you trying to confess to me? And then Teo runs away and you're like,
Horse girl Yuri. But yeah, so anyway, at the end of this little Halloween date, they're just talking about how much they've always looked up to each other, and I'm like, okay, now kiss. Now kiss. No, they don't. It's stupid. Freaking horse girls, just kiss already.
They do both look at each other and say that, like, thank you to each of you. I will always look up to you and I'll always have you in my life. So,
yay.
Yeah, it's cute.
So episode 12, it's time for the 11th hour big bullshit happening.
Yeah.
So McQueen is racing, or they're training for the eventual face-off, and McQueen notices that her legs feel funny.
Yeah.
So she goes to the family doctor, and she finds out that she has been diagnosed with, this is how they describe it in the show, it's like an incurable ligament disease. That is basically going to say, he's like, yeah, no, like if she runs, it's going to cause her immense pain. And there's no cure for it. There's only treatment. And, you know, if she just lives a normal life, it won't bother her that much. But going so hard with, like, racing, it's going to cause her a lot of pain, and she'll probably never be able to run again. And this isn't something that rehab can fix, because this is an incurable horse girl disease.
And this is something that the real life horse had, the same whatever scientific term. But they do have hooves, so it might be a little different.
Yeah. So anyway, McQueen does not take this well, because it's basically just like, hey, you're sick and you will never be able to race again, and there's nothing you can do about it. So she takes it real badly. And at some point, Teo comes to find her. And McQueen was just like, I was so excited for us to finally be able to race again, but now I'm having to break our promise because of this stupid leg disease. And they just break down crying. And Teo's like, a miracle can happen if we work at it, which is something that McQueen said to her earlier on in the season. And so Teo's like, listen, I know I just got out of rehab, and I know that, like, my leg has been broken 3 times in the last, like, 2 years, because this season has gone on forever, even though it has passed in the blink of an eye because of horse girl time dilation. And she says, listen, I'm real out of practice, and I'm, like, not anyone's favorite to win because I've had to spend so much time in rehab, but I'm going to make a miracle happen, and I'm going to win my next race, and I'm going to prove to you that miracles can happen. And McQueen's like, I doubt it, but okay. And she tells McQueen, it's like, you need to watch the race so that you can see me win.
Yeah.
And on the one hand, it is a sweet gesture. On the other, Teo, honey, sweetie, baby cakes, puts my hand on her shoulders. Running real fast is not going to cure the incurable bone disease that your girlfriend has.
Yeah.
Except that it does, spoiler alert. But anyway, episode 13, last episode of the season. The other members of the team work really hard to help Teo as she's training to run her big end of season race. But her times are not improving. Yes. She still kind of sucks because she spent so much time in rehab, and she's going up against a bunch of like really crazy, like powerful horse girls. Like Rice Shower is going to be in there. A couple of the other ones that we've seen are going to be in there. They're like tough contenders. The competition is stiff.
Yes.
And so the day of the race finally comes, and McQueen is at the racetrack, but she's like at a different racetrack, and she's watching the race on her phone. She's like, I can't look. I can't watch her lose this. And it feels so bad. So the race starts. Teo's like kind of towards the middle, and everybody else all want to win. But she's able to move up miraculously. Yes. She is able to move up, and she's just screaming about how she has to win to prove to McQueen that a miracle can happen. And McQueen finally works up the courage to go watch the race in person just in time to see her pass the finish line in first place. And she takes the gold, and it's emotional, and I'm emotional. Yeah. And we get the fucking concert that I've wanted the whole season.
And it's a whole song. It's the original opening from the series. So there's a point like halfway through where they drop the opening and the ending, I think just because there was so much things that happen.
Yeah.
So you finally get the OP again in a concert scene. It's fully 2D animated. It's beautiful animation. You can tell that they have that mobile game budget.
Oh yeah.
They have been paid. And Tokai Teo.
Horse girl money.
They have horse girl money. And Tokai Teo is there in the center, and she's living it up, and everyone who cheered her on is in the audience, and they're all happy and cheering for her too.
Yeah, and then at the end of the episode, McQueen, the one who in the previous episode was diagnosed with incurable leg disease, has somehow recovered enough off screen that she is able to race again. Because her and Teo are practicing together.
At least on the practice track.
But I mean, the way they're talking, it feels like McQueen is still racing.
And the reason why they do that is they don't want to give you a sad ending. Because in real life, that was Tokai Teo's last race, apparently. Oh. And Major McQueen never went back to, like, the big races. Only the tiny ones.
Oh, no.
So, they don't want that ending. Yeehaw.
Nope. Better ending for horse girls. This is horse girl heaven.
Horse girl heaven is them just racing together at Forever School.
Yep, at Forever School.
The school that is forever.
Because, again, this season was like 3 years long. And all of the characters who were at the school are still at the school. There is never any talk of any characters graduating or leaving the school. I think horse girls just go to school forever.
There's also like 2 little horse girl fans that follow Teo the entire season. And they do show up grown up at the end of the anime, entering the school while everyone else is still in school. So it is Forever School.
It's Forever School. Once you enter Horse Girl School, you have to keep going to Horse Girl School forever. It's like purgatory. But, like, they love it.
They love it because they love running and they love being idols.
And they love being idols. Oh, man. So that's Horse. Horse Season 2. Horse 2.
And again, there's so much joy. So I was looking mostly on Reddit. There are people who had wonderful comments under the Reddit posts for each episode about how historically accurate this anime is, which is so funny to me.
Did you guys know that Umamusume is a historical anime?
It's a historical anime. It's historically accurate to like the details, as we had mentioned about Major McQueen hesitating to go in the stall before a race.
Because Rice Shower's gonna fucking kill her and eat her. Did you know that horses are omnivores? And if given the opportunity, they will consume meat. Rice Shower's going to eat Major McQueen.
I just love, see, like, here's the thing, is you know that whoever ideated Umamusume, whichever this group inside games came up with Umamusume, they did not just like want to make a game about horses, and they didn't just like think, oh hey, the public will love horse girls. No, whoever made Umamusume loves horses.
And they also love anime girls, and they were like, what if? Hear me out. So let this be a lesson to you. Honestly, literally everyone listening to this episode, if you think your idea for like a show or a comic or a story or anything, if you think it's too crazy,
Probably not.
just look at Umamusume.
Yeah.
This show's fucking awesome. And it's a show about what if historical horse races were actually run by horse girls.
And they did idol dances after they win.
And it's a huge success. Like, this is a very popular series. I love it. Like, you know, would I have watched it if not for this podcast? Probably not. But it's a fun show, and it's a wild show, knowing that, like, this all, in heavy air quotes, actually happened. Like, it's... like, that just makes me love it more. It's so weird.
Oh, and Star, you don't understand how much I have played the mobile game. So I think I briefly mentioned the gameplay loop. You pick a horse girl. You get, it's a gacha game. So warning to anyone out there, if you do not like gacha games, you could just watch videos or just watch the anime. But if you do like gacha games, you get a set of horses from the gacha, and you pick a random horse, and then you go through 3 years with that horse where you do random events where you're like, I'm going to train them, or I'm going to have them play with their friends, or I'm going to have them run races. And then there are key races you have to win, and those are the key races the real life horses won. Mm-hmm. Because again, Umamusume is historically accurate.
Yeah, it's historical.
And then after you win a race, you get to watch a video of your horse girl dancing to the idol dance that goes with that race. And then at the end of the race, or at the end of the season, after you have all the horse girls, you say, this horse girl is now a veteran, so she's not racing anymore, but she'll teach the other horse girls how to run, and she buffs your other horse girls. That's the gameplay loop.
Amazing.
All you do for the racing, you just watch them run. But you don't understand until you play this game how hype it is to watch the horse girls run. Like, you don't understand. I was doing a run with vodka, and also the other thing is, it's a really hard game. So most people, when you go through, you're not going to beat the campaign with a random horse girl first time.
Oh, there's meta.
So I was running with vodka, and I was like waiting, because I was like, I haven't like beat the campaign yet. And vodka was running, and she was in like 3rd place, and she was like slowly inching up, and I was just there, and I was like holding my wife's hand and yelling at my phone as vodka like slowly approached 1st place and like crossed by a hair at the last minute. It's so hype. I love horses.
Were you actually like holding Athena's hand?
Yes, she was like, my hand hurts actually, please stop. And I'm like, vodka! You don't understand, it's so hype. I love horses. And like, it's just, there's something wonderful about, like, again, just the overall weirdness about it. The fact that these are horses that are girls that are running races that are historic, and they're idols, where you're like, I feel like I'm allowed to let myself immerse myself in this, because they're saying it's okay if you're weird, because it's a really weird thing.
Amazing. I love this for you, my love.
Thank you. Also, I need to do an obligatory horse race test. Shout out.
I was going to say that we need to talk about horse race test, because you promised me at MomoCon that when we recorded this episode, you would talk about horse race test.
So those of you who might know about horse race tests but don't know about Umamusume, if you like horse race tests, you will love Umamusume. So what horse race test is just... it was some guy on Twitter just randomly posting videos of like a simulation he made where it's just like these blobs running around, and whoever reaches the carrot at the end wins the race. And then the fandom just started like drawing the horses as girls who are horses and then making Yuri about them. So
and like as far as the actual quote mechanics, I heard someone describe it as it's like the DVD
Yes.
screensaver that bounces around on your screen, but if that was competitive.
here you go, Star. There's one of them.
Oh man, look at him go. There's 4 of them. They're bouncing around. They're bouncing around.
Isn't this incredible?
Oh, that yellow one's got a strong lead. Oh, who's gonna get into the pipe first? Who's gonna get into that little pipe? Oh, the blue one's going. Oh my gosh, look at the blue one go. And they're gonna get the fucking little cat. It's going up the pipe and it's bouncing around. It's bouncing around. And it's blue!
See?
Blue horse
See? We
wins!
love horse. See, and I feel like it has a similar vibe to Umamusume, where these are just pictures, right? They're just pictures, and we have no say or no power, at least as anime watchers, of who wins or not, but you still want to cheer them on.
Sarah, this is not a thing about anime. This is just a thing about horse races, like just races in general.
That's true.
Sarah, I think we've just discovered sports.
We just discovered sports, actually?
We just discovered sports, actually. Have you ever considered sports?
Well, we do know, and that is the important thing too, because those of you who have followed Idol Days for a while know that the key to being a good idol is sports.
My God, we've come full circle.
Idol Illuminati confirmed.
We have truly come full circle on this. This is the bridge between idol and sports anime that we've been searching for all this time. This and that hockey anime that you watched that one time.
Pura Ore.
That one, yeah.
Pride of Orange.
I have a concept, a visual for you.
Listening.
Spectrum of anime.
Yes.
On one side, sports anime.
Yes.
On the other side, idol anime.
Yes.
Pura Ore is far on the sports side. I'm going to say something like Love Live, far on the idol side, directly in the middle. Maybe leaning slightly more towards sports just because there was not a whole lot of idol activities in this season. Umamusume.
I can agree with your argument.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone make your own spectrum graph.
Horse idol graph? No. Sports idol graph.
Sports idol graph. Do your homework, pop open Canva, design a graph for me, and submit it I want it on my desk, and by on my desk I mean in our Discord server. By 8 a.m. tomorrow. Make your chart, cite your sources, show us your anime charts about horse sports.
Horse sports.
Horse sports and 10 years ago.
So, Star, we kind of covered it, but who's your best girl?
Teo and Rice Shower, my two babies, my babies. If I had to pick one of them, the thing is, like, Teo gets more screen time, but Rice Shower is just, like, such a good bean.
She's a good bean.
Such a good bean. She's only in, like, 3 episodes, though.
She does have the Sans Undertale eye, too, so there's a benefit.
She does. Who's your best girl, Soro?
So, the more we talked about her earlier, I'm like, yeah, I really do like Twin Turbo. she's a feral girl who doesn't know she's a feral girl, and that's really great, I think.
And she looks like Mesmerizer Hatsune
Miku. Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku is my favorite horse girl, actually.
Yeah. I mean, like, guys, we're not joking here. Go watch Mesmerizer Hatsune Miku, and then go look at Twin Turbo Umamusume. They are the same character.
Yes. And we love both of them for it.
Yes.
So, Star, do we want to talk about what we're going to watch together next time?
Yeah, so we actually had a couple of options that were more topical because I feel like not a whole there's been not so many idol. I feel like we're kind of on the tail end of the idol boom at this point. Like, not every anime is an idol anime anymore. So we had a couple of different options, and what we decided we were going to do for our next episode is it's a little out of our usual baseline, but we did just spend an entire episode talking about horses, and I feel like we're not going to get much further out of our baseline than that. We're doing K-pop Demon Hunters because Sarah and I both watched it the other night,
and we want to talk about it,
and we want to yap about it because it was really good.
It's really good.
It is really good, and the music is really good, and the characters are really good, and we want to yap.
Yes.
So that's going to be our next episode.
Yes. And K-pop Demon Hunters discussion will be in our Discord. So, Star, if people want to find our social media, where can they find us?
Yes, so we have a Discord server. It should be linked in the description of wherever you're listening to this episode. It's a pretty chill Discord, so you don't have to worry about like joining and then just like being overwhelmed by how many people are in it. It's a very small, very chill little community, and we talk about idols in there. So the link for that is down in the description. We also are technically on social media, but I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been updating it because we were on Twitter and I hate Twitter. And then we were on Instagram, but I hate Instagram. And I was the one who was keeping up with all of our social media until I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
But you should follow our YouTube channel.
Woo-hoo.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are so close. We're like less than 20 followers away from being able to monetize the episodes and, you know, pay for our Sarah's Crunchyroll subscription that we share.
You gotta put all the bets on Jovial Merriment.
Is that a horse?
That's a horse race test horse.
Oh. I want to see the horse race test horses drawn in the style of Umamusume.
Oh, I am sure that exists.
It has to.
I am certain it must.
It's been months, Sarah.
I am
This has to be a thing. Come now. This is the entire internet we're talking about. Someone has done it. The question is, who is your favorite horse race test girl?
Oh, it's hard to say. I feel like I feel pity for Cyan like everyone else does.
Oh.
As you do. But I also like the zombie horses. And I know those don't really
horses.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm worried about it.
Anyways,
Sarah, your warning came too late. I'm already worried about it. Anyway,
yes. Idle Days.
And we've been Lady.
See you next live.
Bye.